Gradey, there was one possession late in overtime. You got switched on to De'Aaron Fox, who, one of the quickest guys in the league, and you got that steal. What's your mindset in those moments, and how do you feel about your defense in general this year?
I mean, yeah, just from learning from, Darko and Coach Evo, we practice a lot about being square and not trying to open up, and that's why I was just trying to remember, with a guard like that, one little, inch off and he's downhill, one of the fastest guys, like you said. So, yeah, I was just trying to remind myself to stay square, and if the ball comes out, then, I have the length to get to it and, hit it out to, I think it was RJ. So, yeah.
You guys run that, you come off the flare, then you become the back screener in Spain a lot. You've scored out of it a lot this year. What do you like about that play, and why do you think it's successful for you in particular?
I think it's just, multiple options to it. The first option is for, say if RJ's handling it, we want him to drive it first because he's one of the best players in the league at getting downhill and getting to the rim. When you have a dominant player like that, then it's easy for, me to play off that, because if they, the attention that he draws, that play, and really just playing in general, when he's driving it, it takes the attention away from me, where he can kick it out, and then vice versa. If I'm, drawing attention, then, he wants to get downhill and finish at the rim. So it's kind of a two-way, and then you throw Yak in there too, and it's just a lot of different options.
Gradey, you didn't have your best shooting performance tonight, 6 for 17 from the field, but you still hit that crucial basket late in overtime. Overall, how do you think you can learn from a night like tonight?
Just how you finish, finish on a win. That's all I'm happy about, and to do it on a night like this with Vince Carter, getting his jersey hung up there, that's pretty amazing. It's pretty crazy for me to see, at 20 years old, to be able to see that halftime and see all the, people that kind of built this organization. So at the same time, the game's going to happen, and, you're going to have your off nights a little bit, but I feel like, I just tried to, keep level-headed at the end, just make the shots that I could, make the free throws, control what I could control, and ultimately get the win, and, everyone's happy.
What was your takeaway from the message that Vince Carter shared in the locker room today?
Afterwards?
Yeah.
I think it's special, like I just said earlier, about all the people that, he has an impact on. And, when you hear that, first from him, it's one of those things where you're not trying to, you want to win the game, but you're not trying to, think of, I don't know, what did he say? Let me restart. Awkward. No, I think just the biggest part. I was going down a hole right there. I had no idea. No, I think just the biggest part was, I think I said it earlier, controlling the things that you can control. That's why I said that earlier, just because with everything going on, it's easy to get lost in all the cameras and stuff at halftime. It felt like kind of two different games going on, coming back out and getting stretched out again. But, yeah, he said just control the things that you can control, and, kind of talking personally with me at the end. I had the opportunity to get the little chain thing, so it was kind of cool, and I can talk to him, and we've had history in the past where he's kind of helped me and give me a little advice like that, so it's pretty cool for a Hall of Famer like that to bounce ideas off.
With Scotty and IQ out, obviously you're taking on a bigger role in the offense. Does it feel kind of like trial by fire a little bit, and how is this kind of, do you think, going to help you once those guys are back and maybe you're kind of slotted back into the role you thought you might be kind of assuming on this team from the start of the year? Yeah,
I've always had just the mentality, I talked about when I first got in the league, of just doing what I'm called for, and the role that I'm playing is whatever benefits the team. I'm never going to go out there and try to be bigger than myself. And at the same time, preparation, is right up there with the importance of everything, because, Garrett Temple tells me all the time, in a game of 82 seasons, you never know what's going to happen. And, if you're prepared for whatever, then you can, jump right in there and, kind of hit the ground running with whatever it is. So if it calls for me, stepping up a little bit, then, I'm going to try to be as prepared as I can, filling in that role.
You said not being bigger than yourself, but this is probably your first game as an NBA player where it's really deep in the game. It's really deep in the game. A bunch of shots are finding you. And is that, I guess, is that great to find yourself in those positions to say, like, I'm a player of this consequence. I'm being put in these positions to help us win. How does it feel for you to be in those positions now?
It's cool. I don't know. I don't really think about it too much because, in the heat of the game, I'm just focused on trying to make the next right play. If the ball goes in, great. If it doesn't, fine. The next play is going to be, going into the defensive end and trying to, just get it back. And at the same time, it's, a short-term memory kind of thing for me, especially as a shooter. And like you said, those late kind of shots, I hit one in the middle, great. I missed one in the corner that could ultimately put it out of their reach. But at the same time, it's exactly like I said earlier, how you finish. So we got the win, and, that's all to it.
Ochai, you're not necessarily in the rotation for your offense only or offense first, but you've found ways to score pretty consistently this stretch here. What do you think has kind of made that happen?
Yeah, I think really testament to the coaches and my teammates, really. All the work and all the stuff that we put in this off season, and kind of looking at ways I can score and kind of mastering that craft a little bit, and mastering getting to my spots. I think that's something that I worked on, and obviously it's translating now, but with the help of my teammates and coaches. So.
And when you're kind of, is it coming easier and easier as you?
Yeah, it's coming easier and easier, and going back to the drawing board when things don't kind of go the way. But obviously, just keeping that defensive mindset always, but knowing that it's kind of like a bonus, being aggressive and having that aggression on the offensive end too.
What's it like playing in a game where there's a jersey retirement? You guys kind of sat there and watched it, and then heard from Vince after.
Yeah, it's really special. I think it was a long day. Long past, it feels like long, past 2 months for Vince have been really long, and kind of this was the closing day for him, and it was special to see obviously his jersey go up into the Raptors, the first jersey here, and it's really special, and he means a lot to us and the team and the organization, so it was just really special.
Is it a badge of honor for you to have a two-handed dunk in front of Vince Carter on Vince Carter night?
Yeah, it is a badge. It is a badge. I should have done the celebration with it too, but no, it was a great play.
Speaking of that dunk, as far as transition points scored, you have one of the highest percentages in the league. You've been running so much. Is that something you focused on in the offseason? There's going to be room for me to score here. Is that something you were mindful of?
Yeah. And like I said, going back to the drawing board and looking at where my game fits in well with our offense and what we want to do, and the emphasis on what we're doing this season is really pushing the pace. So kick aheads, all those pitch aheads, those early pass aheads where I'm downhill transition one-on-one with the defender. That's just something we practice, and that's what I like to do. So.
What was the takeaway from tonight's game that you want to bring onto the road?
Really just setting the tone for the road. Last night was obviously not the outcome we wanted, and we made our strides back in that game, but a little bit too late. But going into this night, I think we're just really trying to set the tone for the long road trip coming up. We have some teams that we're kind of eyeing, Lakers, trying to get them back. So we're excited to go on this road trip and get them.
And then just the follow-up, you obviously go to the drawing board. Every player does in the offseason. Mm-hmm. You obviously didn't have the best summer league either. What is it like to have that rewarded, that the start of the season has started so well for you to get that plan?
I think, through the whole course of even last season and this summer and kind of going to this season, just making strides with my confidence and knowing, really who I am and knowing what I can do, and just showing that. I think everything's on display, and I'm just out there playing with a free mind, and just trusting my teammates and trusting my work. So
free throw shooting the next few days when you have a chance?
It will help.
What did you make of the way that game and the Denver game both sort of had chaotic endings this night? Tonight you get a win. How do you think they responded to the lessons they might have learned on Monday?
Our big focus going into game today was handling first quarters. And obviously 4 out of 6 games that we played so far, we did a poor job in the first quarter. And today, intensity, attention to detail, I thought that we did a pretty good job in that first quarter to start the game. And from there, we were able to wear on them, to playing hard and making it hard on their catches and everything. I thought that we did a good job for a big part of the game. Fourth quarter, we missed a couple of layups, a couple of situations, free throws at the end, like we were supposed to close that game a little bit sooner. Went in overtime, showed the character there, did not flinch, continued fighting, and found a way to win the game.
Ochai really seems like no matter how much is asked of him, he finds a way to impact the game. Today was scoring What have you seen from him to start the year that, I don't know if it's different or just a continuation of what you saw at the end of last season?
I think for him and for our whole team, it's learning what it takes to win. And every night it's different. Some night you might need to make shots. Some night you need to stop and guard the best player on the opposing team. On some other nights you need to rebound. Tonight he ended up guarding Sabonis, and because we had both Jonathan Mobo and Jakob on the bench with 6 fouls, and he was doing a good job. All multiple players do whatever it takes to win, and that's my message for all the players. Just find a way to affect winning.
Gradey on De'Aaron Fox might not have been the matchup you would have preferred, but he got the steal and led to that RJ and one. What have you made of his Gradey's defensive development? We obviously can see what he's doing with the ball.
I want Gradey to guard all the players in the league, 1 through 4. I think it's an invaluable experience for him. I think it speeds up his process. I'm not going to hide him or any other player on our team. We need to play hard. We need to do what job demands. There is no hiding in this league. If you're trying to hide, you're going to be exposed sooner or later. So all of the players now, they need to step up and be really into it, to know personnel, to know details. And I thought that Gradey over the night, he did a really good job, not just getting that steal, but also several situations that he was guarding DeMar DeRozan as well. He did a really good job of staying down on shot fakes, making it really hard on him as well.
RJ was the lead playmaker for a lot of the down the stretch time in this game. What have you made of the strides he's made in that department in particular, and this time without Scottie and IQ? What kind of growth do you think that can kind of facilitate for him going forward?
And he's definitely having the ball in his hands more. Both him and Gradey, we're putting both of them in situations to be playmakers and to create for themselves and for the team. And he's doing a good job. He's doing a good job of finding spots on the court and finding his teammates. I still think that there were several situations when he touched the paint and he had maybe 2 players on him that he could find some open guys. But every day we're watching film, we're working on that, and he's continuing to show improvement.
Prior to the season, you said there was stuff Gradey was working on that you weren't letting him put in games yet. In like 5 possessions, he took 3 baseline fadeaway. Is this part of what he's working on? Is this what you're keeping tucked away?
I mean, it's part of the stuff that he's working on. He's been working on a lot on playing without the ball, but also we're putting the ball more in his hands, and that was the huge emphasis this summer, getting to his how we call it, sweet spots on the floor and getting those shots up.
What did it mean to get a win at home before the 2-week road trip?
I mean, it's always great. We played in an unbelievable environment tonight. It was a special night for the organization, a special night for Vince Carter, and I was really happy that our players could actually witness that and to see part of the history, and hopefully they got motivated one day to dream about having their jerseys on the top of the arena. It's always great to win in front of our fans, but now we're going on the road and we got to continue this on the road.
Was there a message sent at all at post-game to the guys about tonight's impactful tribute to Vince Carter, or was there any energy kind of that they shared?
Vince joined us in the locker room, and he was there with us, and he shared a couple of words of wisdom with our players, and we're grateful for that.
We'll wrap up with 2 in Serbian.
Dobro reč, Darko Čubanović, Srpska televizija Toronto. Ako možete da nam kažete utiske o današnjem događaju, šta znači Vince Carter za NBA ligu, Raptorsa i za Toronto?
Vince Carter je ikona našeg sporta, jedan od najvećih u istoriji koji su igrali, i velika je privilegija za ovu organizaciju da je on nosio dres i da je sada njegov dres povučen. Ja se sjećam kada sam ga gledao kao rukija i kao mladu zvezdu u razvoju, da je stvarno bio neverovatna atleta. Kasnije je uspeo da dosta promeni način svoje igre i da se adaptira. Neverovatan lider, neverovatan čovek i stvarno smo svi ponosni u organizaciji što je on bio deo naše historije.
Hvala, još jedno pitanje. Pored lepih stvari koje su se danas ovde desile, juče je bio jedan od težih dana za našu zemlju Srbiju. Da li imate par reči za naše gledalce?
Da, Nažalost, desila se velika tragedija i koliko ja znam, preko 20 ljudi je nažalost poginulo. Moje iskreno saučešće svim porodicama nastradalih. Nadam se da će ovo uticati na sve ljude da povedu računa još više i da se ovakve stvari više ne dešavaju u budućnosti.